The mountain town is veiled in a thick fog, its lights blurred and indistinct. A lone building, Station 103, sits atop a hill, isolated and forgotten. The fog swirls around Station 103, creating an eerie, isolated atmosphere. A single, flickering light hints at life within the otherwise deserted station. The flickering light in the window casts long, dancing shadows, teasing the secrets held within. Station 103 remains silent and still, its secrets guarded by the heavy fog and the solitary light. The radio station studio, dimly lit, whispers tales of countless broadcasts.
Elena sits wearily at the console, the clock ticking like a drumbeat in the quiet.
The soft jazz in the background is barely audible, a soothing counterpoint to the studio's stark reality. Each tick of the clock marks another moment passing, another story untold. Elena's tired smile hints at the dedication and passion that fuel her late-night broadcasts. The vintage equipment stands as a testament to the enduring power of radio. In the heart of the radio station, the console lights cast a warm glow on Elena's face as she prepares to speak. Elena's voice fills the airwaves. Good evening, night owls. This is Elena on Station 103, your midnight companion in the Valley of Silence.
Her voice resonates, a beacon in the night. Grab a blanket, pour some tea, and let the static speak to your soul.
The valley outside is shrouded in darkness, a stark contrast to the inviting warmth of the radio station. Static crackles softly, a constant companion to Elena's voice, weaving a tapestry of sound in the quiet night. A burst of static shatters the silence, an auditory assault that makes Elena wince. Elena grimaces, the piercing static resonating deeply. The sound intensifies. Elena's eyes squeeze shut as she braces against the sonic onslaught. Elena's expression reflects the intensity of the noise, her body reacting involuntarily to each crackle. Bathed in the inviting glow of studio lights, Elena, a seasoned radio host, prepares for her broadcast. Her playful smile conceals a hint of technical annoyance as she glances at the snaking wires. A thick fog envelops the city, visible through the soundproof glass, adding to the night's mystery. With practiced ease, Elena addresses her listeners. Whoa. Sorry, folks. We've been having interference lately. Must be the fog playing tricks on the wires. Anyway, tonight's story segment, Letters Never Sent, will begin right after this song. A vintage record store, crammed with vinyl, echoes with the static hiss of a needle finding its groove. The store fills with the soulful strains of vintage jazz, each note a memory etched in time. Suddenly, the music grinds to an abrupt, jarring halt, silencing the stories within the grooves. The sudden silence amplifies the cramped confines of the store, every corner heavy with untold histories. The air hangs thick with anticipation, as if the very records themselves are holding their breath. The scene is enveloped in profound silence, a stillness so intense it feels palpable. Suddenly, the silence shatters as a high-pitched signal pierces the quiet, its intensity jarring. Whispering voices emerge from the void, their indistinct murmurs adding an unsettling layer to the piercing sound. An incessant, crackling static grates on the senses, amplifying the growing sense of unease. The combination of shrieking signal, faint voices, and grating static creates a symphony of disquiet, leaving the audience on edge. Total darkness. A low hum vibrates through the void, punctuated by sharp bursts of static. The air crackles with unseen energy. The feeling of being watched intensifies. A faint, distorted voice pierces through the static. Help. Hiding. The voice rises in desperation. He's in the static. The static surges, threatening to overwhelm. As the unseen presence looms closer, silence descends once more, leaving only the chilling echo of the whispered warning. The still air suddenly crackles with a jarring burst of static, shattering the quiet. Elena whips around, her eyes wide with shock, her senses on high alert.
What the? Okay, that wasn't part of the playlist, Elena mutters, her confusion growing.
She glances around the room, searching for the source of the unexpected disruption. The static hum of a radio phone line fills the air, a constant drone in the silence. Suddenly, the static is silenced by a sharp, abrupt click, cutting through the tension. The sudden silence amplifies the tension, hanging heavy in the air. The click echoes, a stark indication of a severed connection. The line goes dead, leaving only the chilling silence in its wake. In the depths of the old house, dust dances in the lone beam of moonlight, illuminating decay. The heavy air reeks of mildew, as unseen scratching echoes from the walls.
A faint, childlike voice shatters the silence. Miss Elena, I'm scared.
The voice pleads, its source unknown. He's whispering again. I'm in the walls. The desperate plea continues. Please don't stop talking. The scratching intensifies, a chilling counterpoint to the child's whispered fear. In the dim light of an unknown location, Elena stands. Phone pressed to her ear, her face etched with worry. Elena's voice cuts through the silence. Who is this? Hello? Her anxiety deepens as she asks, Are you all right? Where are your parents? Elena's voice rises slightly, her concern now palpable as she repeats, Hello? Silence hangs heavy as Elena awaits a response, her expression a mix of apprehension and urgency. Elena remains frozen, the unanswered call amplifying the surrounding mystery and dread. In the dimly lit room, shadows play across the walls as a child's vacant stare pierces the silence. Lost in thought, the child breaks the silence with a chilling revelation. He doesn't like when people ask questions. A haunting confession echoes through the room. He listens through the wires. The child looks up to the ceiling, eyes darting as if listening to something. The child's expression darkens, a subtle shift hinting at an ominous presence. An ominous darkness begins to envelop the space. With a menacing hum, the lights flicker erratically. Shadows dance ominously, teasing the edge of vision. Silence descends as the location is plunged into absolute darkness. In the dim studio, Elena's face is ghostly pale, illuminated by the cold glow of the console. Her fingers dance desperately across the keyboard as she frantically checks the logs. No call breaks through the silence, deepening the knot of dread in her stomach. Static hisses ominously from the speakers, a prelude to something far more sinister. A faint, unsettling hum bleeds through the noise, piercing the silence with growing menace. An unsettling silence blankets the scene, broken only by the crackling static that permeates the air. In a setting undefined, a darkened room hints at secrets untold. Or perhaps it is a desolate landscape, barren and forgotten, where silence reigns supreme. The air crackles with anticipation as the audio log prepares to play, a voice echoing from the past. A disembodied voice slices through the static, declaring, Audio log playback, old recording. The recording begins, promising revelations from a time long past, its secrets about to be unveiled. In the heart of an abandoned radio station, a lone flashlight cuts through the oppressive darkness. Dust motes dance in the beam, revealing decaying equipment swallowed by time and neglect. A reel-to-reel tape player sits silently amidst the decay, its tape partially unspooled. Suddenly, the silence shatters as a distorted, crackling voice erupts from the ancient speakers. A ghostly voice echoes, This is Thomas Griggs, former host of Station 103. If you hear this, leave. The archival voice warns, a chilling threat hanging in the air. The man in the static comes for the voice that won't stop. Elena's eyes dart around, lost in the overwhelming obscurity of the unknown. Dust motes dance in the single shaft of light, piercing the gloom. The heavy air stings her nostrils with the smell of mildew and decay. A sense of bewilderment washes over Elena as she confronts the scene. Her voice echoes in the emptiness as she questions, What the hell is this place? The silence amplifies her question, leaving her isolated and uncertain. In the archive room, Elena sits amidst towering stacks of dusty tape reels, the dim light painting the scene in shadows. For an hour, the voices of broken broadcasters fill the room, their cries echoing through the confined space. The air crackles with static and unspoken dread as the voices of the past echo, each tale more haunting than the last. A tape ends in a blood-curdling scream. Elena sits frozen, staring into the abyss. Amidst the office, Elena is lost in a sea of scattered papers, her face barely illuminated by the desk lamp. Her movements still, her eyes widen as she discovers a faded newspaper clipping. The dim light casts long shadows, adding to the mystery of the forgotten news. A moment of revelation strikes as Elena's expression shifts from curiosity to shock. The forgotten clipping holds secrets that begin to surface in the silent office. The weight of the past hangs heavy as Elena contemplates the discovery. The radio station stands defiant against the tempest's fury, a solitary beacon amidst the raging storm. Fierce winds lash at the building, testing its every seam and corner. Nature's raw power unleashes its might, relentless and unforgiving. The storm's roar echoes through the night, a symphony of chaos and destruction. Yet, inside, the signal persists, carrying voices through the storm's relentless assault. The radio station's studio glows under dim lights, casting long shadows that dance eerily across the mixing console. Elena, her eyes wild and hair disheveled, clutches the microphone, her figure a silhouette against the muted backdrop. Her voice trembles with a desperate plea. "If anyone's listening, please call in. Tell me you're hearing this." The silence of the studio amplifies her haunting question, hanging heavy in the air. In the desolate expanse, an ominous phone rings, its echo permeating the stark silence. The shrill ring cuts through the void. The sound bounces off the walls, a stark reminder of isolation. Each ring intensifies the suspense, hinting at an unknown caller. The persistent call echoes in the stark emptiness, waiting to be answered. Absolute darkness engulfs the scene, a void where nothing exists. A solitary point of light flickers weakly, a beacon in the abyss. The light expands, yet the space remains empty, filled with an ancient, potent presence. A disembodied voice echoes through the void. "We've always been listening, Elena." A mysterious figure lurks in deep shadows, an enigma veiled from the light. Elena emerges, her steps measured, and her guard raised as she ventures into the unknown. Her voice cuts through the silence, a challenge cast into the darkness. "Who are you?" The shadows seem to deepen, as if the figure within is absorbing the very light around them. Elena's eyes narrow, her body poised for whatever revelation or threat awaits her. The air crackles with unspoken tension, the question hanging heavy between the woman and the shrouded silhouette. Total darkness engulfs the scene, a void where sound begins to stir. A low hum vibrates through the air, its intensity growing, hinting at an unseen presence. The sound intensifies, morphing into a cacophony of crackling energy, like a broken radio seeking a signal. A disembodied voice echoes from the static. "We are the static. We are the silence between the notes." The crackling static pulses, revealing fleeting glimpses of distorted light before fading back into darkness. Inside the dim radio studio, Elena confronts her own reflection, a single bead of sweat betraying her inner turmoil. A looming figure begins to materialize behind Elena, its form obscured by tangled radio wires and erratic light. The air vibrates with an unsettling static, intensifying the palpable sense of dread. Elena remains transfixed, unaware of the encroaching presence that twists the studio into a realm of shadows and whispers. The studio's ambiance shifts ominously as the faceless entity tightens its grip on reality, blurring the lines between the airwaves and the tangible world. In the confines of the radio station studio, Elena's panic escalates as she throws her weight against the unyielding door. Frustration mounts as the door refuses to budge, each failed attempt amplifying her silent terror. Her mouth agape, a voiceless scream tears through the air, a desperate cry swallowed by the soundproof walls. The studio's own air sign, a beacon of reality, flickers ominously, its glow faltering like a dying ember. Darkness descends as the sign sputters and dies, extinguishing the last vestige of hope, leaving Elena in near total darkness. An unsettling silence descends, gripping the scene in an eerie hush. The quiet is broken by the subtle emergence of eerie music, slowly weaving a tapestry of unease. The music intensifies, its haunting melody wrapping around the scene like a shroud. The unsettling atmosphere deepens, the eerie music now a dominant force, promising dark turns. Darkness engulfs the unknown space, a vintage radio emitting a faint, ghostly glow. Static crackles, and then Elena's voice pierces the silence, twisted and otherworldly. Elena's voice echoes. We are the voice in the silence. Elena's voice ominously repeats. The night never ends. The night never ends. In the depths of night, moonlight barely penetrates the grimy windows of the deserted radio station, illuminating dust motes dancing in the stillness. Cobwebs shroud the dormant radio equipment, relics of a bygone era, as silence reigns supreme. The narrator's voice echoes through the desolate space. That transmission played across thousands of radios, even in towns hundreds of miles away. Long after Station 103 had been shut down for over 40 years, the silence returns, heavy with the weight of forgotten broadcasts and lingering mysteries. In the desolate radio station, the biting cold seeps into Elena, freezing her in place. An icy grip paralyzes her, each breath a visible plume in the frigid studio. The cold intensifies, as if the very air conspires to hold Elena captive. Time seems to stop, as Elena remains motionless, a statue in the frozen air. The air hangs heavy with a chilling stillness, amplifying Elena's frozen state. The cold permeates everything, binding Elena in a state of suspended animation. The air crackles with the ominous sound of a phone line struggling to connect. A faint, unsettling static begins to weave its way into the silence. The crackling intensifies, growing louder and more persistent. The interference spikes, hinting at a damaged or severed connection. The line groans under the strain, its broken signal painting a portrait of isolation. The unsettling static escalates, filling the room with a sense of brokenness. Total darkness engulfs the scene, a void where fear festers and shadows dance. A child's voice pierces the silence, raw with terror as a looming dread closes in. "Miss Elena, you stopped talking," the child cries out, his words trembling with desperation. "He's closer now," the child whispers, his voice fading as the unseen horror draws near, promising an end. The faint sound of a phone pierces the silence. A strained yet gentle voice breaks through the quiet. Elena's voice echoes in the emptiness. "I'm here." Her voice softens with reassurance. "I didn't go anywhere." A delicate question hangs in the air, laced with worry. Elena asks with trepidation, "Tell me, where are you calling from?" In the gloom of an unknown location, dust motes twirl within a solitary beam of light. The air is heavy, laden with mildew and an unsettling, acrid scent. A small, muffled voice echoes from the depths beneath the floorboards, cutting through the silence. The child's voice rises from the darkness. "I'm under the floor. Same place they put the others." The words hang in the air, heavy with dread and the unspoken horrors of the unknown. An unsettling silence descends, broken only by the ominous rattle of floorboards under unseen pressure. A distant, grating scratching intensifies the encroaching darkness. The darkness seems to tighten, a palpable presence that threatens to consume all. The sounds of the floorboards and scratching grow, creating a sense of impending doom. Elena, alone, grips a flashlight, her hand betraying her rising fear. She steps into the corridor, a sliver of light, piercing the suffocating darkness. The darkness seems to press in, a place even the station manager warned her to avoid. Echoes of the radio station manager's grave warning linger in the air. Don't open the trapdoor. Let the past stay buried. Each step deeper into the corridor is a step further into the unknown, a place where the past refuses to stay silent. In the radio station basement, forgotten relics whisper tales of the past. A child's backpack sits forlornly within a cage, a silent echo of innocence lost. Dust settles on a reel marked Final Broadcast. Evelyn, 1972, hinting at a story silenced by time. The reel awaits, its secrets locked within, promising to unleash Evelyn's voice once more. In the dimness, anticipation hangs heavy as she delicately prepares the projector. Dust motes swirl in the solitary beam as she presses play. The reel spins, and a distorted child's voice fills the room. She plays the real distorted child's voice sings. A warped child's voice fills the room, singing a chilling melody that twists innocence into dread. The distorted voice of recording echoes. London Bridge is falling down. Falling down. The haunting lyrics continue, a child's lament that chills the soul. The recording utters with chilling clarity, "He took my voice and won't give it back." The recording abruptly cuts off, leaving a lingering silence that amplifies the unease. In the dim, flickering light of the radio station basement, Elena stands amidst towering stacks of tapes, a scene of forgotten sounds echoing around her. She unearths a logbook, its brittle pages whispering stories of the past. As Elena's eyes scan the aged script, a growing sense of unease washes over her, the weight of untold secrets pressing down. The shadows deepen as she delves further into the logbook. Each page turns a step deeper into the unknown. A flicker of the light catches a word on the page, and Elena freezes, her breath catching in her throat as realization dawns. The weight of the past settles heavily upon Elena as the secrets of the radio station basement begin to unravel. In the radio station basement, dust and the musty odor of old electronics fill the air. Shelves overflow with stacks of reel-to-reel tapes, their shadows stretching into the dimness. Each reel bears a crudely drawn sigil in dried red ink. The voice feeds the silence. Flickering lights ignite the unknown location, shadows stretching and contorting in a macabre dance. An eerie symphony of whispers rises, an indistinguishable chorus that chills the soul. The room pulses with unseen energy, a palpable sense of dread saturating the atmosphere. Shadows deepen, and the whispers intensify, hinting at an unseen presence. Total darkness. Only static crackles and the faint hiss of a hidden microphone fill the air. Whispered voices emerge from the dark, a chorus of overlapping fear. "We spoke too long." Urgency escalates as another voice cuts through, laced with terror. "He came for us." A desperate plea to maintain contact. "Keep the mic alive." Panic rises in the darkness. "Don't stop talking." Elena, gripped by terror, races back to the radio booth, her heart pounding with each step. Her hand slams down on the record button. The red light blinks, a beacon in the oppressive dark. One final show, one final chance. A desperate attempt to escape the clutches of the man lurking within the static. In the desolate station, Elena's ragged breath echoes in the suffocating silence, a stark testament to her mounting fear. Flickering lights cast distorted shadows, mirroring the turmoil within Elena as her gaze darts nervously, searching for an escape. Her voice trembles, breaking the unnatural stillness as she pleads, "If you're listening, please, stay with me. I don't know how much longer I have." Elena's voice cracks as she reveals, "This place, it isn't what it seems. This station, it wants voices. It feeds on sound, on fear." An echoing thump shatters the silence, a stark prelude to uncertainty. She freezes, every sense heightened, as the sound reverberates around her. Anticipation hangs thick in the air, each moment stretching into an eternity of suspense. The silence returns, heavier now, pregnant with unspoken dread. An unseen presence looms, and the air grows colder, charged with an ominous energy. She turns to the corner of the studio. A figure shimmers like static in the dim light. Limbs of twisted cables and broken metal reveal themselves from the shadows. Its eyes, if they are eyes, glow with the eerie light of radio dials. A nightmare made of sound and silence stands before her. An oppressive darkness descends, An unseen force tightening its grip around a solitary, unseen figure. A chilling wind whispers through the emptiness, carrying a symphony of distorted voices that seem to emanate from everywhere and nowhere. The entity's voice echoes, distorted and layered. You stayed too long. The entity's voices converge, a chilling proclamation. Now your voice belongs to us.